Welcome to the Bayou City Soccer Podcast. Whether inside or outside the loop, we are talking everything soccer in Houston. Y'all ready? Let's get it.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to Orange and Blue Prints by Bayou City Soccer. I'm one of your hosts, Diego Martinez Reyes, and today we're going to be talking to the one, the only Avery Patterson. Avery, how are you?
I'm good, Diego. How are you?
Good, good. Can't complain. To start, I want to talk about kind of your career as a whole. And I mean, that started in a little bit of a weird way at UNC. You played 3 out of your 4 years, the first of which coming from injury. Can you talk to me a little bit about how that adjustment period went for you? I mean, starting at UNC.
Yeah, I think a lot of people talk about the jump between club soccer to college soccer to collegiate soccer, and then again from collegiate soccer to the professional level. And I think that was no exception for me. I mean, I came in my freshman year, and it was right before COVID actually started. Um, and I was on a team with Alessia Russo and Lata Wubben-Moy and all of these people that are, I mean, globally known now in the soccer world and even outside of the soccer world. So I mean, an interesting environment to step into. I think, like you said, I was injured in our first preseason game. I messed up my ankle pretty badly, but honestly, the only good thing to come out of COVID for me was that it split the season in two, and I was able to play in our NCAA tournament. Unfortunately, it was at center back, so that wasn't my best position or my best showing. Do not go back and watch those clips, please. I beg you. But yeah, I mean, even prior to college, um, I was still dealing with injuries and, was not getting as many looks as a high school kid would have wanted from big college programs. So I mean, Anson and Damon kind of took a chance on me, and I think that they would say that it paid off.
And I mean, they ended up moving you from a center back or a wing back into the attacking role later
Yeah.
on in your college time at UNC. Can you talk to me a little bit about like how that affected your play? Because I mean, from the injury season, you kind of had an incredible 3 year run.
Yeah. I mean, I've always been an attacking minded player, and they knew that when they were recruiting me. Um I think it actually allowed me them playing me in multiple positions has helped me tenfold going forward in my career, just because I have become um, such a versatile player, and I think that I can hang my hat on, and I think one of my biggest strengths is versatility and being able to play in multiple places. Um, so again, I thank them a lot more than I think the average collegiate player would. But yeah, I've always been an attacking minded player. I think um, being able to be creative on the ball and creating chances and affecting the score sheet is one of my favorite parts of the game, and I know um, that it's also one of my strengths. So yeah, I think that playing higher up the field for the rest of those 3 years benefited me and my team in college.
And one of those years, you guys were able to make it to the NCAA championship game,
Yeah.
ultimately falling short. But can you talk to me a little bit about kind of that tournament experience and kind of just how you felt throughout the whole thing?
Yeah, of course. That year, I it's gonna sound so cliche and all the things, but whenever I someone asks me about that year, I think that that will go down even in my lifetime. It sounds so over exaggerated, but in my lifetime, one of my favorite years of my life. I mean, I've never been as close to a group of girls as I was in that 6 month span. I mean, um, it just felt such like a full circle experience because that national championship run, there were so many things, so many nuanced things that for instance, our center back Tori Hansen was a senior and hadn't played all 3 years, and she had stepped up into this big role and took on, some of the best players that are now in the NWSL. So I mean, it little stories like that really made it special, and I genuinely love and care for everyone on that team as if they were my family. and I mean, again, to fall short was just, it was gut-wrenching and heartbreaking. And if I do continue to talk about it, I might get a little emotional. But that was a pinnacle moment in my collegiate career. And I think something I will never, ever, ever forget.
Yeah, I mean, I can't even imagine how special that could be.
Yeah.
Like talk to me through like I don't know, maybe one of the most special moments or maybe something that you specifically remember from whether it be that year or any time during your college time.
Yeah, I mean that entire year, genuinely, that would be my answer. Uh, that was something that I don't think can be replicated um, if you tried. I think um, it was just everyone was so cohesive. Everyone genuinely wanted their teammates to perform and play at their best and succeed. And I think that's something that's almost rare nowadays is, you know, this genuine connection that you have off the field that it also translates to on the field. Um, it again, I will say this so many times until I'm blue in the face, but um, yeah, that year was my probably the most special moment as a whole in my college career.
And then we kind of talked a little bit about your transition from high school and club soccer to college, but now talking a little bit about from college to pro,
Mm.
um, you're you're picked by the dash. You're automatically kind of boosted into this position where you were expected to kind of have a big impact on the team from the get go. Can like talk to me about like that kind of shift?
Yeah.
Have to do that so quickly.
Yeah, I think I had always wanted, obviously, everyone, when they are taking a sport seriously, think that they are going to reach or hope that they are going to reach a professional level. And I think that that was no exception for myself. I think from a very young age, I knew that I wanted to play professionally. So I will forever be indebted to the Houston Dash for giving me the opportunity and for picking me in the last ever NWSL draft. That draft experience was a stressful one, one that I am somewhat glad that no one else will have to experience ever again. That is a whole other story, but yeah, I will forever be indebted to Houston for that. And like you said, I was kind of I don't want to say thrown into because I feel like I everything that I had done up until that moment had prepared me for that. So I think it was less like a thrown into, more like a stepping into role of understanding that this is what the next couple years of my career would be like, and knowing that it would be um, an impactful one here, or at least try to make it as impactful as I could. Um, so yeah, I think that that transition and everything that I learned at UNC and everything that my coaches taught me allowed me for it to be pretty seamless.
I like how you described the draft process. Talk to me a little bit about like how that stress just turned into relief when your name was called.
Well, I wasn't even stressed about where I was going to end up. I was this is so bad that I'm conceding this, but I was stressed about the interview that was up on the stage because I was watching all of these girls get picked and have something to say up on the stage, and I was like, I should have like prepared something or like I don't know, gone into this knowing that like I'm going to be in this massive convention hall and there are thousands of people that are watching you on TV. Like I was internalizing everything that was being said during up until I got my name picked. So I think that was stressful for me. I The red carpet and everything was great fun, but my parents were there with me, so it was a special experience, but also super stressful. Um, but I don't know. I remember my agent actually texted me the pick before Houston and said, you know, Houston's gonna pick you. And I was like, oh, here we go. I need to practice not running into the camera when I'm walking up on the stage. Um, so yeah, little things like that. And Jesse, actually, one of his staff here in Houston, was the first person that I hugged when I came off the stage, and now we're really good friends. So I mean, it's something that I will cherish, but also am relieved to have that behind me now.
And kind of like those kind of off field moments. Can like you're into your second season. Can you talk to me about some of the relationships that you've built and kind of like how you've kind of made Houston into your new home, basically.
Yeah, no, it is my new home. And I the first thing that I tell people whenever they ask me about, what do you love most about playing in Houston? And I genuinely think that my answer every time would be the people. That goes beyond my teammates. I adore each and every one of them, and I have such a close relationship with everyone. But I think it extends to the staff and the culture and the environment that they've been able to create. Um, at least during my time here, I think the last year and a half to 2 years. I mean, obviously, there's been a lot of turnover in previous years, but everyone, the the physical therapists, the ATs, Andy, our strength coaches, and I mean, that's literally me scratching the surface. They're all excellent people. They're excellent at their jobs, but it's heartwarming and heartfelt to know that they're also just really good people off of or outside of work as well.
Kind of well, the relationship on the field. You've been surrounded by a lot of talent offensively, and whether you're kind of pushed in the midfield or you're given like a more defensive role, like we've seen really you have on the dash. Can you talk to me about how special it is to have such talent surrounded you?
Yeah, I mean, and this is another reason why I was um so set and adamant on playing professionally is that I think if you surround yourself, there's actually a quote that my college coach would always say, and it's the seven people that you surround yourself with. It's not the quote, but it's like a theory. But if the seven people you surround yourself with are who you are going to reflect and who you're going to become. And so I think, surrounding yourself with the most talented players in the NWSL, um, and even here in Houston is going to develop me and anyone else that chooses to come here. I think I've had the privilege of playing with, I mean, the talented likes of Jane Campbell and Paige Nielsen and Katie Lind and Natalie Jacobs, like all of these people, all of these defenders who have had such incredible careers in the NWSL. Um, Defensively for me, it's a privilege and honor to work alongside them and be able to play next to them.
And then you mentioned the seven people that surrounded you. If you could build like a dream team of of five people and then two people, let's just say on the bench. What are
Okay.
those seven people that
Like a
you're
5v5 team type of thing?
yeah, like a five aside.
Okay, well, I'm gonna stick within my team here. I would probably say if there's gonna be a goalkeeper, I would pick Jane. Um, Myself would be included on this five-a-side team. Um, Maggie Graham and Kiki Van Zanten are my closest friends here in Houston, so I feel obligated to put them on it. And they're also badasses on the field. I would have so Maggie's my midfield, Kiki's my forward. I would need I would probably opt for Paige Nielsen as my other player on my five-a-side team, and then on the bench I would have Danny Colaprico and I need a forward and Yasmin. Oh, yeah, Yasmin, Clarissa. Oh gosh, that's really hard. I don't think I would be able to pick.
Don't worry, I promise I will not be sharing this
Okay,
sharing
awesome.
this. But this is his first year as a head coach. Talk to
Yeah,
me a little bit about how you kind of like been learning from him, but also the other way around. How have you
yeah,
seen him learn like as to be a coach and to kind of
yeah.
like get into the rhythm of that?
Yeah, I think that he's really stepped into his role. I think um like I said, my transition from club soccer to college is not going to be super seamless, and college to the pros isn't going to be super seamless. I would assume that that would be the case for assistant coach to head coach as well. But I think that um, hats off to him. He made it as seamless and as I think seamless is probably the best word. But yeah, I would say that he has made it as seamless as possible for himself. I mean, he has the respect of the locker room and um, he really focuses on is data driven, which I think is an interesting take because I've never had a coach that is so focused on the details of the game. And I think that that is something that is going to help us and help him be successful as a head coach because he provides insights on, this wasn't working last game, even if it did look like it. Data is showing that, maybe we should have tried this more, or, tactically we should have been playing in this formation instead of this formation. So, I mean, yeah, I props to him and hats off to him for everything that he's done for the club this year.
I like how you thrown in like the word leadership because
Yeah.
a lot of people on the outside can kind of see you in that position and kind of see you grow into that. And so, I mean, from everything on the field with the dash, but even now you've been getting national team call-ups and everything. Like, talk to me about how you feel yourself kind of be in that leadership role now, or more than seasons past, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I think obviously as a rookie, you're kind of getting your feet underneath you. I don't think that um, anyone can really feel as settled as possible until their second year. Um, or at least that was the case for me. Excuse me, I think on and off the field wise, I'm just a lot more comfortable um, in knowing my role here. So I mean, if that does transition into being a more leadership one or looking like someone who is commanding the charge or like leading the charge, I think that if my teammates, if that's something that they would want, then I would be privileged and honored to accept that role. I think I hope I'm leading by example on the field. I mean, I think that that's your play speaks for itself, and I think that that is the first step to being a leader. So yeah, I think maybe going forward, that could be a conversation, but yeah, for now, I'm comfortable where I am.
I'm sorry about that.
It's okay.
Um, so I was going to ask you a lot about the national team because I mean you've gotten asked about that ever since you got called up by Emma Hayes,
Mhm.
but I have not really heard you get asked this question.
Oh
You
boy.
come back to the draft and you're playing away,
Mhm.
and you see somebody wearing a national team jersey. On the back it says Avery Patterson.
Yeah, it's weird.
How does that how does that make you
It's
feel
strange. It's very strange. Not strange in a bad way, but strange in a surreal pinch me type of way, if that makes sense. Like almost not believing that everything that I have done, because like I mean, when you're playing, I don't think about, or I try not to think about how many people this reaches and how many little girls you're inspiring, because I mean that would make my head explode. So I mean, for me, it's just me playing the game that I've been playing for 20 something years. So to see that people have enjoyed that and are getting enjoyment from watching me and from watching the national team, I think it's a pinch me moment for sure.
And I mean, even if you try not to focus on I think it's great the fact that we all see you and everyone can like look to you as an inspiration of like the I made it.
Yeah.
And can you talk to me a little bit about like how we're getting to a point where um, I like to use a quote from Michelle Kang that women's soccer is a movement, not a moment.
I just saw that actually, funnily enough. I
And
did.
like talk to me about like you step on whether it be the national team stage, the with the dash. Can talk to me about that kind of like
Yeah.
movement.
Well, I think that she said it best. It's a movement and it's not a moment. I think I am in, and everyone that is on Houston and involved in women's sports in general right now are getting involved at the right time just because, it's on a chart going just increasing. I think increasing in viewership, increasing in people coming to games, increasing in fan bases in general. I think it's a really special time to be an athlete in women's sports. It's so cool to me. I'm grateful for it every day. That I was born in 2002. I think it's the good time. It's the best time to be in women's sports and women's athletics.
And are there any specific players that you were really inspired by or you kind of looked
Yeah.
up to?
My well, currently, I think my answer would be um Paige Nielsen. Even if she sees this, she would know this. I've told her this a bunch of times too, or I've said it in interviews a bunch of times. She she went to UNC and had I think a similar recruiting process as to where not a lot of teams, not a lot of collegiate teams were looking her way, and she kind of made the most of of knowing that she was good enough and having that self-confidence in herself. And I think that that's translated into her having a super successful career. I think I've learned so much playing alongside her, defensively and even leadership wise, as you mentioned. Growing up, I think that my role model was probably Carson Pickett. Her dad was actually my club coach. And so I would go and watch, or my club team and I would go and watch her games at Florida State, when we were, U8, U9. So like the little things like that, and being able to have someone that you knew, playing or achieving the dream that you wanted was something that was super inspiring for me.
And before we wrap up, I have a couple of like quick fire questions to ask you, because you said it, Houston's your home. Now, like, give me a breakfast spot, a lunch spot, and a dinner spot that you would
Okay.
go to.
Breakfast spot, I'm going to say Citizens of by Montrose. Um, the lunch spot, I'm going to say local foods, and my dinner spot would be Hugo's.
Okay, okay. Pre-game pre-game playlist. What's on it?
A bunch of Mac Miller, a bunch of SZA, and a bunch of Sabrina Carpenter these days.
Okay, okay. Wait, now I have to ask, what's the best Mac Miller album?
I don't know. They're all so good. Um, I don't know if I would be able to pick. I don't think I can pick. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. Who's the funniest on the team?
The funniest? Oh gosh. Chappie. She's hilarious.
And then last question. After after an away trip, you come home. What's the go-to de-stress rotation?
A 10-hour sleep. I sleep in. I'm sleeping
So
as long
fair.
as I can.
So fair.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Avery, for hopping on. I hope you guys enjoyed this interview. And this has been Diego Martinez Reyes from Orange and Blueprints.
Thank you, Diego.